G'day everyone, my name is Paul Raimondo and you're watching episode 1 of the I Ask an Expert show. This is the show where I sit down with leaders in all things digital, tech and entrepreneurship and really just drill down and get a behind the scenes look as to what has fueled their success in both business and marketing to date. On today's show, the first ever show, I was stoked and also extremely lucky to sit down and have a chat with my friend Nick Bowditch when we were speaking together at the 𝗩𝗟𝗡𝗚𝗡 seminars in Melbourne and Sydney last month. Now, if you haven't heard of Nick before, you haven't come across him online, Nick is an online success story. He is the only person in Australia Pacific that has worked at both Facebook and Twitter. He's the only person in the world that has worked in marketing at both of those companies, and he is also a serial entrepreneur. The chat that I had with Nick was awesome. It was fun, it was educational, motivating, it was inspiring, and I really hope that in watching this today and giving me your time, which I'm extremely grateful for, that you can just extract even just like a fraction of the value that I got from my time with Nick. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love it if you could just drop me a comment in the comment box below, or if you're feeling generous, give me a thumbs up as well. And apart from that, let's get into it. Thanks heaps for coming.
You're welcome.
Good to see you. Appreciate it. So yeah, just for everyone listening and for everyone watching at home, just give us a bit of a background about you, your entrepreneurial journey, and kind of where it's taken you.
Yeah, so I come from a startup background. Most recently in my life, I've had a few different iterations in my life, but most recently I came from a tech startup and a learning development startup background. I had an online travel business. It was my first sort of effort into having my own business, and that turned into different agencies and different businesses until I was...
So how long ago was that?
In the last 10 years.
Cool.
And then that all became something else when I was recruited by Facebook.
Okay.
As a result of my last startup, where I helped small businesses, much like you do, on their digital and social effort. And Facebook saw me and they wanted to start a startup and small business marketing team for Australia and New Zealand. They wanted someone who kind of already had something of a profile, being a Facebook guy. So they recruited me to do that, and I was there for almost 3 years. And then
what was your role while you were there?
I was in charge of the marketing team for Australia and New Zealand for small business. So I was in charge of the small business team. We had a lot of accounts, maybe tens of thousands of accounts. Right from anyone who spent thousands of dollars each month, right down to someone who spent $5 a day.
Okay.
And then the rest of the team in Sydney looked after the bigger accounts, the top 200 spending accounts in Australia and New Zealand. So that was great. I loved it actually. Yeah. And but it was good to leave there as well, and I retired for a little while. Yep. For about 4 months.
What did that retirement look like?
Just trying not to think about work, really. And the whole time, I sort of thought, maybe I should do something else. And I have little kids, as you know, and so it was great to spend that time with them.
It's fully invested in family.
I was just loving that. And then eventually Twitter got hold of me and said, look, we'd like you to do something similar to what I'd done at Facebook, in evangelizing the brand and convincing small businesses that they should be on the platform and advertising on the platform. So I did almost a year, then just finished at Twitter as well. Yep. And now I've relaunched back into small business. Yep.
Can't get away from it.
No, running my own gig again at the Mentoring Club.
Cool. So when did tell us a bit more about the Mentoring Club. When did that all start?
So I've always struggled to find good mentors. I had a very, very good business coach who's now one of the mentors on the Mentoring Club. Okay.
What's his name?
Her name is Sue Henry. Yeah. And she, when I was in business before Facebook, she just righted the ship many, many times for me. She was very good at telling me, listen, I don't want to hear about the 17 things you've thought up this week that you're going to start. Let's finish 3 of the 17 you told me last week. So that was really good for me, but other than her, I really struggled to find people who were motivated to help me, able to help me, were the right fit for me and my business, and who didn't want millions of dollars over a 12-month, 24-month period.
Yeah.
So I decided just to do it myself.
Okay.
So we started the Mentoring Club, and I've gathered some of the, industry-leading mentors, quality mentors, who you can buy for an hour, basically on Skype. So it's kind of like the Uber of mentoring in that way. So you just
mentoring on demand.
Yeah, you're not locked in.
Yeah.
I just don't think locking contracts really work.
Yeah.
Anymore. So it's very lightweight, all online, and we have business. They mentor in business development, finance, revenue, marketing, advertising, copywriting, whatever. Yeah. Whatever you need help with, and you just literally buy it by the hour.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like the whole on-demand type business model, and it's also really transparent. It's like it's buying what
very
you want.
Transparent.
No lock-in, nothing, no massive commitment, and also for not only as someone that would be looking for mentoring, but I guess giving the mentoring as well. It's kind of nice in that way because you know exactly what you're getting in exchange for your time, and there's
So when someone books a session, if they booked a session with you and they needed some marketing help or whatever, then we send them an online form that they fill in, which is discovery basically, which they tell us where they are with their business, how much they love or don't love their business, what they want to achieve, and so on. And we pass that to the mentor, and then they're prepped and ready.
That's awesome. So I guess these days, what does a typical 9 to 5 working week, or do you have a 9 to 5 working week? Like, what takes up your what does a week of work look like for you?
Yeah, it's not 9 to 5. I have to be honest. It's considerably less than that at the moment.
And that's really great. I mean, you have four children.
Yeah, we have 4 children under 6 years old. So that's my main focus really at the moment. I work most weekdays. Yep. But some days, if I can't, I can't. And so I'm setting up a pretty lightweight, pretty automated business really. Yeah.
Which I mean is awesome. I think if you can design a business model that allows you to leverage your time in a way that gives you more of it as well,
And I'm preaching to people all the time to have some balance. Yep. To spend time working on your business, not just flogging yourself in it all the time. If I then do that, even at this early start of my startup, we're very early startup. We've been going for about 3 months. Yeah. So there's a lot to do, but because I've set it up in such a lightweight, automated fashion, it was making money. So I kind of made the decision to start the business. Had the idea really on like a Thursday night. Yeah.
So it was one of the 3 of the 7.
It was one of those things, and I always pass my wife, and she'll say no. Yeah. No.
You're an idiot.
No. And I said this one, and she was like,
not bad.
So that was the Thursday night. On the Friday, I had built the first iteration of the WordPress website.
Nice.
Which was rubbish.
Which is thementoring.club.
Thementoring.club is the URL. It looks considerably better now. Yeah. But I had the sort of ideation on the Thursday, built the WordPress website on the Friday, and we started making money on Monday.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Not millions of dollars or anything like that, but enough that I can just potter around. Yeah. It's taken me 3 months to really get the website almost where I want to be, and I'm not a control freak or whatever. I am a bit, but I just had a real vision of how I want it to look. Yeah. Really simple, really beautiful, clean lines, lots of white space, and that's what we've managed to do.
Cool. I think it's really cool in terms of when you're starting something and because I'm starting my own business at the moment, as you know, there's just so much to do and just so much that you want to invest your time in, and there's so many like golden little unicorn ideas that you have in your head, like I could be doing this and I could be doing that. And it's you kind of one thing I am challenging myself to do at the moment is execute my time in a very efficient manner, but not do it at the expense of, even though you have to like work really hard, but not do it at the expense of those closest to you in your life and that balance. So I think it's really good that despite how such an early stage your business is in, you're walking your talk already and you're practicing what you preach, and I think that that's really
and I think also I know nothing about search engine optimization, for instance, right? It's just I don't know nothing, but I certainly couldn't help anyone with that. So I outsourced that.
Perfect.
It's important that I don't get caught out in that either. If I'm always telling people, do what you know. I always think if something's going to take you more than a day to learn and be able to execute yourself, then outsource it.
Absolutely.
That's 8 hours at you know, say your hourly rate's $300, that's $2,500 you've invested, you've wasted.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm a big believer in that.
Absolutely, and I think playing those around you in your network to their strengths is always a great strategy, especially.
And you'd be amazed what people can bring you. Like, you know, the guys who talk to me about SEO, they're also talking to me about, and I'm talking to them about storytelling and gamification and just general business development and marketing. And you know, you don't think that just because somebody is a specialist in one thing, that's all they're ever going to bring you, because when you set up a business that is collaborative and sharing and kind, you'll gather those people around you who are the same, and that can only help you build something more successful.
Awesome. You said the last 3 months you just launched the Mentoring Club. What did you started on the Thursday and it was up and running, making money by the Monday. What was your go-to-market strategy? What was your initial growth strategy, awareness strategy? What did that look like?
It's been, I have to say, it's been almost 100% Facebook and Twitter.
Cool. Are we talking organic? Are we talking
both,
paid?
Both. We've run ad campaigns on both. I do a lot of effort around organic stuff on Facebook, even though the world keeps telling me that doesn't work.
I think it works if you know how to do it correctly.
I keep telling the world that it does work. So, I think it's just about being a bit smart with that. We run Twitter ads and they've been very successful in terms of just getting brand awareness out there. I've done a bit of media, a bit of PR, a bit of this sort of stuff. But it's and then of course with the 15, we have 15 mentors on at the moment, on the books at the moment. They're all doing their own marketing as well for themselves and my business. So I've kind of able to leverage that as well.
That's cool.
Which is no cost to the business because the mentors want work too.
Absolutely.
And I'm certainly able to give them work, but I feel like they should be doing some of it themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
So so that's the go-to-market really. The next level of that is, well, there's all sorts of ideas, but I really have to get better at SEO. Even just for simple search terms like business coaching, business coaches, business mentors, whatever. At the moment, I've really done nothing about that. So that's.
But I mean, 3 months in, that's not.
I mean, that's version 1.6 or 1.7 down the track. But Facebook at the moment is just killing it for us.
In terms of measuring conversion, do you find that Facebook's been able to give you a higher return, or is it Twitter giving you a higher return, or is Twitter kind of setting up the alley-oop for the Facebook slam dunk conversion? Or is that how you...
Twitter's the assist really. It's a lot easier, only for me, not generally, but it's a lot easier at the moment for me to measure ROI on Facebook as opposed to Twitter. Only because our audience on Facebook at the moment is much bigger. And it's more a direct response. It's more a call to action on Facebook. Whereas on the stuff we're doing on Twitter is really, here we are, this is what we do, this is who we've got working for us.
Kind of just really subtly introducing them.
It's pretty lightweight. I'm still measuring it. But in terms of ROI on Facebook, I always aim at 5x. Ad spend to revenue, not profit. And we're currently well in excess of that.
Fantastic.
And mostly with video views. Video views are, at the moment, if you get that right, it's just super
I've done quite a few. It's awesome. And obviously this is part of Facebook's plan in terms of, I guess, taking on YouTube and becoming a more central media platform. But I've been throwing video campaigns out there, 2 cents a play. Awesome reach. 10 out of 10 relevancy score. And the video content, to be honest, hasn't been anything spectacular. It's just been video content on the platform that's relative to the message that I'm sending, and it's awesome.
And I think once you get in your brain that people are 85% of them are looking at it on mobile. It's autoplay in silence until you start it. So we're doing little tricks with the first few seconds of the video being a call to action to press play.
Perfect. Kind of gamifying the whole process there.
You can I can't. Press the thing, motion to people and they do it.
Sneaky, love it.
But keep in mind too though that we don't pay for, so you still have to have some of your storytelling overtly visual in case there's no click, no button, no click, because that's essentially free. So there's still brand building you can do, but I love video and I love Facebook.
Absolutely.
So the two meet.
And I mean, video content is so much more engaging, and I mean, for me anyway, I see a video playing in the feed from someone that I'm already, I mean, if I'm either being targeted well, they're using the back end of Facebook to target me well, then it's most likely going to be relevant to my interests. Or if it's a page that's just targeting me as their audience and it's a video, I'm like, oh, what's this? What's going on?
I still find though that so many people are targeting me poorly.
Yeah?
Still.
Yeah.
Like it still happens.
Yeah.
So, that's good.
Yeah.
For us.
I mean, it's good for people that know how to use the platform, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I saw you speak, so we're speaking together at the moment for the Princeton Digital Pharma seminars, and I hadn't heard this statistic before in your speech last week, but basically you said that for every person that's on Facebook, Facebook has an average of 1 million data points on you. Do you want to just maybe expand on that a little bit for us?
Yeah, so the thing that people often don't understand in the marketing world really, but now that digital is a big part of everyone's world, is how many points of data a business like Facebook or Google for that matter has on you. Facebook has on, as you said, 1 million points of data on average on each of the users. So it knows who you are, who you're married to, what you look like, what you believe, what your ideology is,
how you vote,
all those sorts of things that you don't necessarily think that you've perhaps given them.
Yeah.
Interestingly, they know 1 million things about you, but they don't know anything that you haven't told them.
Perfect. Yeah.
So, before people kind of freak out about that, just think about what.
Well, that's it. I mean, you're voluntarily giving your data to companies like Facebook,
and I think, it's to build a better online experience for you.
That's it. A lot of my friends, I had this discussion, funnily enough, on Saturday night with some of my friends, and they were kind of freaking out, not so much freaking out, but we're discussing how it's a bit concerning about all this data, all these companies have on us. And one of my friends, who's super just anti-establishment, used to work at Apple, now he's super anti-establishment, and I was like, hey David, I've got this new Apple Watch, it's pretty cool, check it out bro. And I explained to him how it works. He was like really, really cool, and this is really like super into the tech and everything behind it. And then I was explaining about the biohacking potential and all the biometrics they're keeping on you. And he's just like, bro, Skynet's happening, man. They're taking over. Like, you're giving all this data away from you. But to me, and maybe, I appreciate that I'm a massive marketing nerd and I appreciate that this stuff fascinates me. But to me, I'm like, well, if I can give this data away for free, right? And it's not really, it's not at a cost, because I'm voluntarily giving the data away, not like what's happening with the Data Retention Act, which is a completely different ballgame, but I'm voluntarily opting in to give this data away. And the return is a better user experience to me, better targeted ads, probably saving me money, because if they're targeting me with wanting me to buy their shit, and it's got a nice value incentive built into it, then I'm like, yeah, this is cool. This is making my life easier.
Not only that, if you think really deeper than that even, the biometric data that your Apple Watch is holding of you could potentially change a health outcome for you or your children down the track.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, it's like, it's kind of catch-22.
Like, what do you want? What do people want? Do people want to go back? Because we're not going back.
Exactly. We're always, absolutely.
So,
I like the idea of, I don't like the idea of it being hit by a car, but I like the idea that, knock on wood, I get hit by a car, right? I'm just by myself in I'm in a foreign city, right? And I get hit by a car, and I've got my watch on, and all they have to do is come over and they just like NFC my watch, and they're like, oh, this name's Paul Raimondo, his blood type is, O negative, and complete medical history if they've got like maybe a medical verification, like the AMBO, and they immediately know that I'm allergic to a certain type of antibiotic, and I'm immediately taken into care, and they just know how to treat me without any of my next of kin.
But also from a medical research point of view, from a first aid point of view, as you say, but these devices, not just the Apple Watch, but devices we wear all the time, Fitbit, which I don't have on at the moment, is gathering symptoms. He's gathering your physical, and eventually he's going to be gathering your mental state. So they put together all those things and can perhaps predict or preempt something happening to you which they can pre-diagnose.
Exactly. And prevention is always better than cure. You know?
It's just embrace it. I just don't understand why people are fighting it.
I'm on your train of thought.
But the Data Retention Act, as you say, is
not
is something completely different. But as long as you're opting in and you're opting in to get a better value user experience, all for that.
Yeah, and yeah, like the data retention, a completely different ball game. I am totally into sharing information, but I don't want to have no choice in the data that can be shared or monitored of me. So
and on that note, without politicizing it,
yeah, that's it.
I'm totally fine sharing my data with people who know what to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but not those who don't.
Yeah, that's I like it. Yeah. All right, so just to sum up the whole the mentoring club startup, and just in regards to business mentoring and building businesses, as I'm sure you come across and you talk to a lot of young entrepreneurs and even older entrepreneurs that have thrown away the 9 to 5 and ready to pursue
more and more.
Exactly, and ready to pursue what they want to do. What would be even colloquially the best advice that you could give to whether it's a young entrepreneur or an older white hair entrepreneur about starting their own business in Australia?
I think regardless
of Australia,
this advice will hold true. You've got to find your voice, and that voice has to be your authentic voice.
Yeah.
So, historically in business, it's all been about telling lies.
Yeah.
It's about creating facades. We're this busy, we're this big, we're this funded, whatever it is, instead of telling the truth of it's me and don't really know what I'm doing, but we're finding out ways to do it better and whatever. So the difference is in 2015, 16, 17 and so on, then those businesses that are open and transparent and honest and authentic will stand out.
Yeah.
They already are standing
Absolutely.
out. That if you think of the big tech companies now that are changing the world, all of them have very open policy about their data and about their revenue models and how they make money. It's not sort of too outlandish to say that if Facebook existed as it is now 10 years ago, it probably wouldn't have been so overt about how the advertising model works, about how retargeting and targeting works. But in 2015, you just have to be.
Absolutely.
Because everyone's so much more savvy.
Yeah.
And they know. You know that if you're looking at a website and then you go back to your news feed and you refresh it and there's an ad from that website, that
it's join the dots. Yeah.
But 10 years ago, people wouldn't have known that and would have been frightened of it.
Yeah.
So I got off your question, but the question is, how do you succeed? And my advice to any startup would be to find your authentic voice.
Yeah.
Authenticity always wins.
Yeah.
If you are, if you're bullshitting around and trying to be Apple and you're not, you'll be found out.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be, and this comes down to even, blogs. We both read a lot of blog posts, and I read blogs from small micro businesses, one-man band, all the time, that are written, we do this, we do that, we're this massive conglomerate. Well, no, you're not. I know you work in your garage.
Yeah, I googled where your address is, and that's a rent an office.
Yeah, I think we should be embracing and celebrating the fact that sole traders can kick ass in 2015.
Absolutely.
And I think that if someone comes to you as a small business, that's because you're a small business. So, why not give them the small business experience? I think authenticity always wins. And the other thing you won't be surprised to hear that I think always wins is kindness. Yeah. And I just think there's very, very few businesses that have as a philosophical pillar of their business kindness.
Be kind,
and it wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say, why be a dick? Why be a dick? There's no... both interpersonally with your personal relationships and with your friends and family, why be a dick? But also with business, people want to do business with people that they get along with. And if you're being a dick...
And the thing about kindness, it's not going to cost you business.
That's it.
You're not going to lose business because you're kind. You're only going to gain it. Yeah.
So it's funny. Last night, you put a thing up on your Facebook. I think it was from your. I wasn't sure if it was your personal one or your business one. Doesn't matter. But it was. What was it? It was kindness. It doesn't cost you a cent. Sprinkle that shit everywhere. And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It's the most basic interpersonal human emotive relationship we have.
That's it.
And you can choose to be it, or you can choose not to be it. It's really simple. People make that choice every day. People make that choice 12 or 15 times a day. in business or in your personal life, if you come across someone walking past you at the airport, whatever it might be, like even the most random, vague interaction, kindness still counts there. You know,
Absolutely.
As much as if, you know, I provide some sort of mentoring pro bono for someone who is in a startup and isn't making money, but I think they could, or I think it would help, or whatever. Then, you know, you can extend some kindness to people. You don't have to extend. It's not giving someone $100.
That's it.
It's just giving someone time and space and reinforcement and empathy.
I agree. And I guess I think just being
Damn hippies.
you thong-wearing hippies. I think in terms of just being kind and doing the right thing, I think that's just a massive foundation to any solid, awesome business.
Yeah.
And I think even for those that are more in it for, I want something in return. And if you're doing something, in my opinion, you want something in return, then you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons. But kindness also leads to awesome things happening, you know, really serendipitous encounters, really serendipitous friendships. The way that you and I met was I sent you an email after being subscribed and following you on social for maybe a year. And I sent you an email, I wanted some career advice, and I sent you an email and I was like, look, massive fan, basically explained what I was doing, just wanted to ask you a question, was happy to provide you something in return because I don't believe that there's ever a free lunch. And literally 5 minutes after I sent you that email, you called me up and I was like, who's this random number calling me? And it was you, and we had a chat, and then that led to, I think you were speaking in Perth, and that led to us having some drinks together and just getting to know each other better, and it's led to us speaking at this conference, all these conferences together in Melbourne and Sydney now, and I think it's really, really cool. And if you wanted to, you didn't have to do that, you didn't have to call me, and I'm super grateful and like very extremely grateful for it, but it's awesome to see just how such a small kind act has kind of, you know, led us down a new path in terms of our friendship and business relationship together. And it's awesome.
And it's grown both of our businesses.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
We're presented with the opportunity to make that decision multiple times a day. And sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I miss it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I just fuck it up.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You know, and I haven't been kind to someone, or in a situation where I should have been, and then I reflect on it later. But you can't have it right all the time.
That's it.
And if you are at least thinking about it, then you're in a much better place than not thinking about it.
As long as your moral compass is set on the north direction of compass and you're heading in that direction all the time. We're all humans. At the end of the day, we're not all perfect. We all make mistakes. But if that is your overarching principle, both in business and personally, I think you're definitely on the right track.
And also, look, I think it affects your social communications as well, like social media communications as well. You know, like it can just set you up to put yourself and your business in some really cool situations if you extend some kindness, or if you are actually the recipient of kindness as well. That's awesome too. And you validate that, or you publicize that. I think what you said one thing before, which I'll take you on a little bit. Yeah. That if you're just doing something to get something in return, you're not doing it right. But you've got to make money.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you don't have to make money, but if you make money, then you can do more good. It's not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think a lot of people, I speak to business groups all the time, and I'm probably the only raging lefty hippie that does it. Well, that's not true, but why not? And so people are always surprised when I concentrate on the commercial imperative of something. But if you're not, I can still be kind without making any money. Certainly I can be kind to passers-by, I can be kind to my family, I can be kind to my wife, to my children. But I can be kind at scale if I have some capital behind me as well.
For sure.
So, and I didn't mean you meant that, but people that are like, oh, you can't do both. Well, you can do both.
I don't. Yeah, maybe I should rephrase. I don't think that if you're being kind for the wrong reasons, it's not doing you're not doing the right thing. I think you definitely should just be kind, be a good person, don't be a dick. Yeah. And then also apply that to business. But obviously, there's going to be the commercial reciprocation, the ROI of that relationship. You know.
I just think you can perform more kindness for more people if you've got money in the bank.
Absolutely, and that's an awesome way to look at it.
Yeah.
Wicked. Well, thank you so much for coming and giving me your time today, Nick.
You're very welcome,
awesome.
mate.
It's been it's the first one I've ever done, so this has been a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll be doing a lot more of these in the future. So yeah, thanks heaps for your time. Appreciate it.
See ya.
See you guys.